Welcome to Stars Without Number, Children of the Phoenix. All right, it's Bounty with your hosts, Danny and Lisa. Hey! The show logo rips onto the screen as if revealed by the slashes of 2 katana strokes. Then expands rapidly until it fills the entire screen before being torn apart by explosions and lasers. To reveal the familiar studio of the counterculture superstars. A man sits behind a short metal table, hair spikes that stands in long, sharp points. His kimono is dyed in a swirl of grays, reds, and blacks, and accentuated with stripes of fluorescent color. On the other side lounges a woman with half of her head shaved, the other covered with a dark wave of hair. Her kimono is made of black leather, studded with points and pierced with multiple rings. Maximillion, you now can recognize that the thigh-high boots and the cuffs at her wrists are expensive boom-step accessories.
Ooh.
Hello, dumbasses!
Greetings, Muda!
Welcome to Bulwark! For those of you that don't know,
And that's all y'all who are dumb enough to come here.
Bulwark is a shithole!
However, for a backwater medieval cesspool,
Filled with murderous, sword-wielding fanatics.
Bulwark is a surprisingly bountiful place.
Most likely because of the giant Dawn Enterprises fleet that showed up today, filled with entitled Dawn Lords who shudder at the thought of having to spend one more day cycle in the Spartan quarters of their ships.
And that means there is plenty of G.O.L.D. to go around for those willing to get their hands dirty.
And plenty of jobs for scum like you who like that kind of work.
In fact, the bounty list is so long, we've had to make a special update for the Bounty app available in the Pad Store for only 2G, just so you can easily keep track of them all. With just a click of the Scan for Baddies button, you can check our database of all current bounties.
Wow, Lisa, what a blatant plug! But then again, we've got to get paid for this shit somehow.
That's all for now, folks, and remember, all the gold you'll ever need is on someone else's head.
Then the studio disappears and a wipe to the menu, where you can see a long list of regular bounties, as well as the link to the private bounty boards you have access to. The Bounty holo projection on the wall of the cafeteria is the most exciting thing that has happened all week. It's been 9 days since the cargo freighter Red Envelope left Hub behind, and even the excitement of joining the expeditionary fleets and entering drive space was quickly eclipsed by the boredom of being trapped within the confines of the crew quarters. You've finally re-entered real space in the Mert-Eckert system, and with the reappearance of the stars has come the internet. With all the time in the world and nothing better to do, you have learned some of the answers about this new system and its one habitable planet, Bulwark. While there are no days or nights in the endless uniformity of space, you still all meet up in the cafeteria at the hour cycle of dinner time. With only 20 hours left until the ship arrives at Bulwark, it's time to plan the next step for Project Reiki. Weighing on all your minds is the knowledge that the director of the facility is, at this moment, just one spike jump away from this system. How you are going to get there, though, is yet to be determined. The link to the limited access bounty board pulses with the glowing number 2, notifying you that you have 2 unread postings.
Who's
in the cafeteria?
Oh,
I am.
I never left.
And
I already subtracted 2 gold for the app.
You spent most of your time in the cafeteria.
Fantastic.
I don't.
Yeah, you got pizza on the ship. Just waiting.
I'm the only one with
Yes.
with a data slab. I gotta use it. I'm not getting that app. It's a waste of money. You just watch through the ads, and you X them out when they appear every 15 seconds. God, you can get real-time updates on this, on their location.
Come on,
You
man.
need that. If you are out in the field and there is a sighting of your target, you need that information.
Get the app,
right
dumbass.
now.
Yeah. Are we going to be serious about this?
Look, shit. All you have to do is stay within like 5 feet of me at all times, and you'll be good. I'll do that instead. That's free.
All right, so what sort of
I'm
things have you been doing since the internet has reappeared?
You know, things.
Jerking off.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of things.
Yeah, as well as just sitting around.
Probably been a lot of that happening. You know, you've been 9 days in these
But where does it-
except the
But where does
the
it go in
compartments are
space?
pretty confined. You know,
Just floats around.
No, you send it out the airlock, and that'll be life in a couple million years.
Life on Mars.
Yep.
Um,
So it happens.
I think I've probably I don't have any reading material. I would figure that I would either be reading or
You
meditating.
got the internet. That's all.
Or
reading
I'm
material.
I'm just generally brooding and keeping quiet.
No, shouldn't you be? Oh,
I brought in some medical journals to read to pass my time.
your own?
I'm working on it, but
Oh,
I got others.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so
Honestly.
basically we'll still need to scoot down a bit.
Oh my god.
Oh, this way?
Get them more in the shot towards
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the shop.
I also have some. I had some experiments, but
Alright.
We don't
Okay.
talk about those.
nope.
All those poor
Does
children.
anybody do any research about this planet that you guys are headed towards?
I do.
Or perhaps
Yeah.
you expect
so
to
much.
be there for just a short amount of time?
No, we might be there for the entire rest of this campaign.
Alright.
I wanna.
That could be true.
So,
Yeah.
what sort of skills is Lucas going to be using as
Boy.
he's perusing the internet?
Stealth.
Is it culture? Is it culture spacer?
Yeah, you could
Is
use
that-
Culture
Is
Spacer.
that when you search in
seems
incognito
like
mode?
All right, let's do that.
Culture Permanent.
That's a 5.
Ooh.
That is a 5.
Not
Okay.
stellar.
So, unfortunately, you get bogged down by all sorts of advertisements that just keep popping up, talking about all the great sightseeing things. You know, there appears to have been a major upsurge in tourism that seems to have happened over the last day or two. So, all you get are travel to Auxillershire, home of the fantastic whale dolphin, and see the many sea porcupines of the lower ocean.
They got whale dolphins.
I buy like 6 more apps. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and
Just uninstall, reinstall.
subtract. We'll call it 10 gold.
All right.
We'll give you some
These are
random
some
apps, and
expensive
who knows what
apps.
we'll see. Yeah.
Hey, I got
Yeah,
distracted
they
by the
figure that
internet.
You can you can afford it. So what has Maximillion been doing? Has he been experimenting with learning his beat boots, or is he
Oh,
doing
yeah.
other things?
Oh yeah, what is
No.
Do you have any teleportation beat boots tricks?
Ooh.
Where
I
like
have
you
not thought about
teleport
that.
to do like a special beat?
Oh, that could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, some dance moves where you're
Okay.
suddenly like you start out here and then you're on the other
Do,
side.
do,
of the
and
room.
then over there.
Well, you can
create
you
some
can
ambience,
you can
yeah.
take care to make your footsteps audible, and then port to somewhere else where they're silent.
Oh yeah.
And then totally screw with people.
Or-
Yeah.
Dude.
Ooh.
You could beat boots
You're
dance
taking
against
art
yourself.
and subverting it for
Dance
combat.
here, teleport other side, dance back, like a call response sort of
Are
deal.
you-
True
Oh,
artists.
Are you doing like
okay.
some classic, like you're doing like the moonwalk and it's doing Michael Jackson while you're doing the moonwalk? It's like, gee.
Or, I mean, you could do like
and then
on-
all the squares light up.
That'd be a pretty cool show if you did like stuff like you went off the stage on one side, teleport to the other side, and came right back.
Oh, that would look
Moonwalked
so
and then
like around the
moonwalked.
world.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna practice on that. I also want to research on how to sync my, if it's possible, with some modifications, sync my boots to my jacket. So then, with that, every boot comes a light, and then you
Yeah.
could.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
A fucking walking
Give
rave.
me a culture roll.
Culture.
Let's see how good you are at that.
All right.
You uncultured swine.
I don't want him to fail or succeed at this.
Five.
Okay. Unfortunately, you are less technically minded than it would require to
Do
do
that.
that. Yeah.
But you are a dreamer.
You
The
accidentally
most-
purchase apps.
The most you figured out is how to get your neon stripes to like just pulse, like
Okay.
flash rapidly. Almost too much
Whoa.
though. Like yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
could-
that can be good.
Yeah, that could
If
come
we're
in
up
handy.
against like the epileptic.
Dude, if I ever wanted to sacrifice
Yeah,
my
what's
jacket,
what if
turn
that's
it on,
like the
throw it.
Quetzal's moves?
Yeah.
Oh no, you could do
Uh,
some like crazy trick
How is
where you teleport a place far, hang up your
With the
jacket,
jacket?
put on the lights, teleport out, and so they're like, "Where's that guy? Oh, he's over there. You can see the lights."
No, teleport, sneakily put my jacket on someone else, and then teleport
And
away.
just be like, "Here's a free jacket, bro,"
Yeah.
and you're gone.
How's,
Like the night.
Or yeah, if it's like a
how's
night fight, you
Silas handling
have your
his
coat
time
light
on
up
the
and then
ship?
you put it on bad guys so they
The
shoot.
corridors
you.
are a little more narrow
Right.
than you are used to.
Yeah, I'm just kind of focused on getting there. I'm like everything else. I've kind of tuned out.
Lots of time with your meditation tapes.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of brooding and a lot of meditating to balance out. You gotta have the good moments and then the general like he's in the corner like a flashlight, and I'm just like looking at him, and then I just walk through the hallways.
How's your anger?
Yeah, are you actually any less angry, or are you just... It's a constant.
My base level is not angry, but like what it is that if I encounter a situation where things aren't going the way I anticipate them to go, I will like rage out. My base level is basically just a stoic annoyance. It's like everyone around me.
It's thin ice over a storm of rage.
Yes. The perfect storm.
Yes.
So you guys have about 20 hours left in this trip. The captain has gotten on the intercom earlier and told you that you were 24 hours out, and it's been 4 since then. 1 day remains. Yeah, 1 day. You're in system now. You see the stars and whatnot. What had happened? We'll fill in a little bit of the blanks. Is that when you got aboard the ship, you left Hub, which was the planet, and went out into space. It took about 2 days for you to reach the expedition fleet gathering point. So when you got there, there were like around 100 starships capable of spike drives. So it was a pretty big expedition. There's probably never been this many ships in the history since the Scream and the Skyfall. So this is big. And then you guys jumped, and it took you into the drive space, and so there was a lot of days. It was about 6 days of just sitting around. If you looked outside through the projection, all you saw were like weird colors warping around the ship and stuff. And
very 2001.
Yeah, like you don't want to stare at that for too long. So most of the time they would just like put it on just to see what could be seen in the
we spike drive into the next evolutionary.
Yeah.
We are literally the children of the stars. We are the star child.
Become one with the stars. Yeah, and then you popped out. So you are in system, headed towards the center of the system, towards its one planet.
You said we had 2 messages on our...
yeah, we got to look at it.
Yes,
check that.
When you check that, you see it brings you into your limited access bounty boards. You see you've been granted access to 2 different boards. The first one is the Dawn Enterprises Expeditionary Fleet, and the second one reads Ichidan. So, which is, if you remember, is the company that the Dawn Lord who you met earlier and who actually paid for your trip here.
Yeah.
Dawn Lord Wakisaka Masamichi. So he was the one who has arranged this trip where you guys, I guess, just found out you're headed to Bulwark.
Nice,
yeah.
Bulwark.
Okay.
So
which one do you listen to first?
let's say Ichidan.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got personal attachment, the master chef.
Yeah.
So beautiful, so fair.
Oh yeah. So fly, always on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So as you select the Ichidan's private board, the video, the 3D holo projection appears, which displays the familiar figure of Dawn Lord Masamichi. He's facing away from the camera to begin with, and then he turns gracefully and speaks as if addressing you personally. He says, "Hello, friends. I'm so glad you could all make it to this adventure. You have all personally demonstrated your capacity to solve problems, so now comes the real job. My dear subordinate, Don Tanimoto Genjo, has disappeared on the planet of Bulwark. His report and contacts among the native population has made him one of my best procurement agents. But several months ago, he disappeared while on one of his routine outings. I fear the worst, but I have also heard that he was voicing sympathy with the locals more and more often leading up to his disappearance, and it may be that he has gone native. I'm offering 5,000 gold in my eternal gratitude for the return of him alive and undamaged. In case this is no longer possible, I am offering 2,500 gold for evidence as to his demise and the culprits behind it. Good luck, he says, with a smile.
Oh,
And the
I'm the
video
culprit
ends.
behind it. My apologies.
All right.
I tried to save him, but I stabbed him.
And
This keeps
as you
happening.
start up the other video, you see a tall, handsome man with stern features, and he wears the warrior's top knot that you've seen so often among the ruling class of Dawn Enterprises. He wears the red and gold
Glad
robes
that
as
man
well.
buns have continued into the far. No.
A trend.
The greatest
he
of
says,
hairstyles.
A trend that never
I am
died.
Dawn Lord Tojo Kenko, Vice Commander of the Dawn Enterprises Expeditionary Fleet. Pretty stiffly, as if not used to talking to a camera. Welcome to Mert Eckert, the first system in our expansion. Soon you will be disembarking upon the surface of Bulwark. You may have heard of the great opportunities that await you in these new lands, but remember at all times that you are under the authority and laws of Dawn Enterprises. At the moment, there are no specific bounties. You see his mouth twists at the word, issued by Fleet Command, but there are plenty of bounties issued by subdivisions of the fleet. When something comes up, this channel will be updated. That is all. The message terminates.
Okay. So it sounds like from the fleet we don't have any missions, but
We could
you
check
got this
the
Genjo guy.
other not limited access bounty boards.
Oh, I suppose that's true. We only did check the
Yeah,
limited
we have to check
access.
the
Although I
local
think-
notice boards.
Okay, I guess we could.
Yeah, because those are the
I mean,
ones that we were
taking-
invited to.
Taking Genjo would be nice. That sounds
that-
like an exciting one.
No, it does. But I mean,
Going into the sneaking, infiltrating into the natives' land, convincing Genjo that we're one of his, and then at the last moment we do a quick betrayal, get him out of there,
do you
and
want to
get
go
away.
among these tiny snakes?
The
No, this is
tiny
Bulwark.
snakes are not in-
next thing.
That's
No, I know.
different planet.
He's gone native.
I mean,
He's flying. He's fucking eating people.
He's squirming around on the ground. Thinking he's a snake.
listen, you shouldn't call the natives that. It's rude.
Yeah, they're not snakes. What's a paw?
Well, either way, we should check the general ones, just because while we're trying to find,
Maybe
we can
one of them's like kill 50 natives. So then it's like we kill 50 natives on
the-
our way to
look,
getting to
get
Genjo.
50
You get
native
the
hides.
you get the achievement.
But
yeah.
the drop rate for the natives is terrible. Okay,
It's 1,000 natives in order to get the achievement.
Whoa! Bomb 'em.
Do we get like a little
Whoa.
title and some flair?
Yep, yeah.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
What
Let's
would
move
that
away
be?
from this.
Genocidus?
Yeah,
The Earth Salters.
Achievement unlocked.
it's colonialism, excuse me.
Alright. What's on the not limited boards in terms
So, when you swap over to the non-limited board, your browser just like completely fills up. There's a scroll bar. It starts out big. It gets really freaking tiny.
Oh,
You can no longer see
Sort
it.
by.
There are tons of these.
Sort by the priciest,
Okay.
the biggest bucks, the biggest.
I wonder what
golds.
I wonder what the biggest
Big
one
buck
is.
hunter.
Yeah.
Must be like take down a
So these mostly range. They're. Let's see. The top one is. Let's see. One moment.
Is the top one of those like fake scam ones? It's like $1 million for blah blah blah. Please
it's
provide
like-
all your information first.
$1 million for the
So
most
the
delicious
biggest
meal.
one
It's like
is
overthrow Dawn Enterprise.
500 gold.
It's nothing.
Required
for,
level 50.
There's apparently been outbreak of piratery happening on Bulwark.
That's a weird sounding disease.
Piratery, yes. You have no idea what this word means.
It's a pirate.
It's,
a pirate tree.
Yeah, who
trees.
knows what
Like-
pirates are? Like
Did you mean a weird outbreak of piracy?
Can I use?
No,
piratry.
Piratery.
like
Piracy?
people on
Yeah.
boats. and-
Would Culture Spacer
Pirate outbreak. Yeah.
would Culture
It's a
Spacer
disease.
know what?
No, it is piracy.
Oh, piracy. Oh, okay. I
Uh,
was about to say I'll roll to see what piratery really means.
no, it's piracy. So
Okay.
yeah, there are pirates everywhere. Apparently.
Someone wants me gone.
So much illegal downloads.
So I wonder if like Genjo just got taken by pirates.
Yeah,
and
that
not
could be a
was
thing.
actually taken by the natives.
Oh, yeah.
And there was like sort of a red herring
Hey,
about the whole thing.
Then we can get 500 extra
Oh,
gold. Kill
and
some
maybe
Yeah,
maybe like
because they just said he disappeared. So I mean,
maybe like we've heard he's assimilating to the natives is like I don't know, Stockholm, or like doing that for his own safety or whatever.
Or he just got captured
What's-
and they were like, hey, why are you going with those guys? What, you like being chained up? Why they're like dragging him away? They're just like...
no one stopped.
It was
him.
just a
There
big
was-
misunderstanding. They thought like he
Yeah.
won't
It was like,
willingly.
yeah, we heard he's into bondage. I didn't know he was into public play as well.
pirates.
Like,
Wait, what's the next system over? What is it called?
You want to just skip this one?
No, because
This
no,
one
no,
doesn't
'cause
sound
Lord
interesting.
I mean, if we want to find out our backstory,
That's in
Or
the
our
That's
dear-
all. That's what I care about.
our dear
Yeah,
brother,
that's in the next.
who is so angry, and I don't want him to be.
What, you don't want to find your? You're like, nah, fuck the backstory.
No, fuck
I
that.
got,
No,
I
I
got.
got my
I
life.
need to find out what
I mean,
happened.
I mean, we need to find out, but we also have responsibilities here.
Got money to make, but
Well, also,
I mean-
they're not going to take us anywhere until we do the task,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. So let's go find Genjo, get 2,000 gold, and we can spend that money to hop over to the system.
no, but,
Genjo- to
but first
Genjo's
we gotta
prison, right?
see if there's anyone willing to take
Yeah,
us.
he's the procurement agent.
Yes.
So why don't we see about these guys driving us right now?
So we'll just take it. Okay, why not? What's the
We could
system?
find
What's the
out.
system
could-
that what's it called?
Let's
That the head researcher is at?
Or
That's
what's
next
the
to this
snake
one.
system?
the snake system is
Camilla. Newly discovered system
yeah,
Camilla.
yep,
Camilla.
Camilla.
Fuck,
Nice.
did I have that
Somebody
written in my
was taking
notes?
I took notes.
Hey, did I write that?
Good,
down?
First
'cause
time
I've
I've
got
ever-
a spreadsheet.
Oh shit! I
to
have
go
that in my
through.
notes too.
Dude, yeah.
I didn't write that.
It's a great
down,
name
no.
for a
Isn't
system.
that the name of the Fire Emblem character?
Oh yeah, the fucking.
Is it spelled with a K?
No, it's spelled with a C. I
Yeah.
think.
See,
Peter,
Yeah,
is,
the-
it, is,
the
it, is it
Camilla-
a string
Dragon
of
Knights.
vowels
Or
and
Camilla.
consonants?
Who
I'm
knows
full of
how
fire
to
now.
Oh, I
pronounce
guess
it?
Or
it's
is
true,
it-
there
is
like
it-
a
all these
billion
star
of them.
maps
Or
are
is
like,
it Camila?
like 500
it could be
years old?
Camila.
Nobody's alive who knows how to pronounce these star systems.
Insane.
It's
aren't these named by us?
No.
no, these were named by the.
Oh, shit, yeah. Camilla, it's the Fire
So,
Emblem character.
so-
in order to
Ancestors, yeah.
get here, they had to rediscover like an ancient star maps in order to figure out, or,
Oh,
or
okay.
spike drive maps, spike space drive space maps. So, because like
What if Camilla just means like danger or like death?
Go away.
In, like, a
Snakes
forgotten
here.
language.
Beware.
beware
Tiny
of
flying
snakes.
adorable snakes here. That's what it
Will
means.
die.
Yeah.
So, could we ask the Atlas and I forget what's her name?
Let's
Two.
see.
Her name is Chiang.
Chiang. that's
Chiang.
right.
Chang!
Ching. About maybe if they're gonna stay here, and if they're not, if they're willing to leave, like how much booking passage to the next system, the Camilla system, would cost.
Okay, so as you you walk up to the cabin,
Mm-hmm.
you see. So Atlas hasn't really. You haven't seen much of her.
Yeah.
Even though she's supposedly the captain, like the ship's been on like. She entered, like sat down, did a bunch of math. You were in the
Yeah.
cockpit for the beginning. Did a bunch of math and then like hit an intercom button and talked to some sort of AI that was apparently the Fleet Command AI, and it synced everybody's jump coordinates. So
Nice.
then she just let everything happen and went off to her cabin. You see, Chiang is in the cockpit reading something on her pad. Oh, hey, what's up?
Howdy. Just curious. I mean, you guys got us all the way here, and we're all still alive. I was curious. You planning? You got any more transportation duties ahead of you?
Oh yeah, we're headed back
Oh.
to Hub
You gonna make
after this. Drop off cargo,
Hmm.
pick up more,
Bring it
mostly
back here?
fish, probably head back to Hub, then back and forth.
would
Yeah, shipping.
would you guys potentially be for hire to go somewhere?
Where else is there to go? I mean,
You've been paying attention to the news at all?
Oh yeah, everybody's been watching the news.
The Camilla system. Talking about those new aliens.
Oh no. We can't go to Camilla because it's in diplomatic lockdown. Nobody's allowed to go unless you have a diplomatic passport that shows up on your ship signature. If you don't have that, they blow you out of the skies as soon as you show up.
So you're saying...
I mean, think about it. Otherwise, it could be a nightmare.
Oh, just everyone.
War with tiny flying snakes.
So what you're saying to me is that if we get a diplomatic passport, you could take us?
Yeah, I mean, if you could get a diplomatic passport, and then you have to pay the standard shipping fee. But yeah, we could do that.
Now, just like ballparking, like how much would the shipping fee cost? We're pretty light cargo. I mean, look at us.
It's,
I've been working out.
So normally on our normal route, it's 500 gold per person for the standard route.
Per person.
Going to a system like this, we wouldn't have the AI
help.
Yeah, it's mostly just so we can offset how annoying you folks. I mean, you folks are lovely, but we've had some really bad customers before. You know, mercenary types and whatnot.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah. Also, you know, one of these. This thing might look like an old junker, but they're pretty expensive. Yeah, I mean, you know, they rediscovered the spike drive, but I still have to produce them. They don't mass produce them. They pretty much make them individually.
All right.
Yeah. So it'd probably be somewhere around. I mean, don't quote me on this. Atlas is the captain, but it'd probably be 1,000
per person.
Yeah, per person.
Where is Atlas actually?
Oh, she's in her cabin. She hates space.
What?
Yeah, I know. Weird, right? I mean,
did
she
you become
became a
captain?
pilot. Turns out she's a fantastic navigator, like, just really a genius with the numbers. But she hates flying in space. Too much money, though. Like, how can you pass that up?
Yeah.
Alright.
I don't.
As long as you like, you know, don't look out the window. It's not really. Like,
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you just.
Well, I mean, you still know you're in space.
That's why the view screen's
yeah,
off.
but it's
like,
not
most
like
of the
it's-
time.
terrible.
Yeah.
If you, like, not looking
I mean,
out the
I get
window.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
finding, killing people. I mean, it's not that great. It's annoying, and yet we still do it.
I mean, what pays the
Yeah.
bills,
What
right?
pays the
Why are you
bill?
trying to
You don't wanna be,
Why are you trying to? The
Whose
person
side
you're
are you
talking
on?
the person you're talking to doesn't hate space. It's the captain.
Well, I'm just trying to empathize with the thought of doing a job,
what you gotta do.
doing what you gotta
I
do,
guess that's true.
being a working man.
Of course, you could also. I mean, who knows how long though? I mean, you could wait for. We got this giant expeditionary fleet. They're not gonna stay on in Merritt Eckert forever. They gotta go somewhere, and I think they're trying. Last I saw in the news, they're trying to do some sort of trade negotiation so we can start moving stuff through there. But who knows how long that could take?
Yeah.
I mean,
When-
how do they even know
When
what the flying snake people are thinking?
wouldn't
Right?
wouldn't,
Like, blows my mind.
What could they even want?
wouldn't they
What
need
do they want?
Wouldn't they need
Tiny little mice? Flying mice? I don't know. Yeah?
Psych.
Wouldn't they need a diplomatic pass to do this trade stuff?
Who?
These people.
The
Oh,
corporations.
Oh, Dawn Enterprise. Oh, Dawn Enterprises. Yeah. They are doing the diplomacy. So, like, they're in charge. So if they wanted to, they could just be like, oh, yeah, sure, have a couple diplomatic passports. Real easy for them, right?
So
We need
couldn't
to
Dawn
give them
just
a
give
reason.
us diplomatic
Yeah, we need to give them a
Yeah.
reason to.
Here, let's
I mean,
Let's get
that is if
Genjo.
you know anybody
We get
in
him
Dawn who's
alive.
high enough.
Yeah,
talk
if
to
we do
each
if
of
we do
Dawn
this
and
job
go
real
like,
well,
hey, why don't you
they-
give us diplomatic passes so we
they
can go over
really
there.
like their sushi. If we can make sure that goes over smoothly.
We could even do a job and forego payment just to get the diplomatic passport.
Hell yeah!
I suggested this before we.
Shut up! It's Will's idea.
Well, we didn't.
Will gets credit.
Well, we didn't know that Dawn just was handing them out.
Well, no, but I was like, oh, we should try to find. I don't.
Making it rain.
It's okay. We got it.
It was a
We're
team effort.
Yeah.
I'm saying this out of character. I never would
Fucked up.
actually.
Yeah.
In character, I would never say that this is a team effort.
All right.
I would just glare.
All right.
So we gotta find Genjo.
Yep. Gotta
Genjo.
find Genjo.
And kill pirates.
Does the posting have any details of when he was last spotted?
Yes. So there's a lot of information in the posting. It even has like a photograph. It's a 3D short.
Okay.
Look at
this
photograph.
Yeah,
All
it's,
right,
it's a 3D GIF. You know?
I need a couple pieces of information.
They have
Okay.
gifts in
Where
the
he was last
future?
spotted,
Yep.
when that was,
Okay.
and the transportation
Yes.
methods of Bulwark.
Okay. So let's see. You can't find out.
Futures.
You don't have specific details on the bounty posting as to where he was last spotted. It mentions that it was. You see something about like, oh, we don't really worry about the day-to-day of what our procurement agency does. They handle that surface side, but he had supposed to be arranging shipment of blah 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 tons of tuna, and that was the last time he vanished in the middle of this job.
Yeah, he was on a routine, like
Yeah.
the same kind of
Yeah.
route he had done before.
Okay.
Exactly.
So then
you
we can look.
you do learn that his procurement agency is
Having
He's
a
based
routine is
out
the
of
best
the,
way to get caught.
the Shipshire of Primaryshire.
So that's where
Okay,
we need to
Shipshire
go.
of Primaryshire.
So one thing you learn as you're doing some research is that the primary Bulwark is a water planet, and
Gonna get wet.
yeah, it's a water world, and instead of like living on ground like normal people, everybody lives on these giant, basically container ships that float around called Shipshires.
Oh, okay.
And
That makes sense.
each of them is like 460 meters long, and just really, really slow. They move around the surface of the planet and follow the food sources, the fish and whatnot that swim around, and also moving between the different mining areas.
These Shipshires, do they just flow from the current, or do they have locomotion?
They have locomotion.
Okay. So they have fuel.
They are powered by some sort of reactor, nuclear. They are powered by nuclear reactors.
Wait, is this the same planet that
Yes.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pirates.
I'm just making sure water.
Okay.
world
So that
pirates-
means he.
That
now,
wasn't us, by the way.
We do in the posting. Is there information?
Somebody else.
There was information that he missed the last
we'll find that.
meeting for shipment of tuna.
Yes.
When was that meeting?
That meeting was 2.5 months ago.
2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
jeez.
So
Okay. Okay.
okay,
Yeah. He's
Ah,
been
jeez,
he's
you
been
give me
gone for 2.5 months.
That could be
is there?
anywhere.
Can we
this
like
reminds me of
look up
Castaway.
maybe like a local like? Is there any like news about the natives? Like what like
yeah.
culture stuff, like how to interact with
Oh,
them? What's
uh,
anything to pay attention to?
That's true.
Yeah. Let's see. Somebody give me a
Anything we find out about the world
cultural-
culture?
culture. No, this will be a culture that you don't have because
Yeah, cultural world is supposed to be the culture
Your
of
world.
Yeah.
your
It's like
world.
culture parentheses.
So this will be
Yeah.
a culture based off of intelligence. So somebody
Who's
it'll
got-
be a -1 base roll.
Who's got the highest intelligence?
I have a +0.
I have 0.
0.
Oh, I got that +0.
Yeah. so
Ooh,
who is
guys,
lucky?
we have 0
Too bad we don't have anybody named Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Oh
Lucky is
gosh,
gone.
that would be
Yeah, Mason roll.
extremely fortunate.
Yeah,
wow.
that
Right.
is a
Damn.
9.
All right, a 9, very successful. Okay, so you
-1.
go ahead and ask 3 questions about the natives.
Make them
Oh,
count.
Make them count.
Oh God, I should not have rolled this.
Does he
What's
look like
their
a
favorite
bitch?
color? Do they like blinking lights?
Do they got pizza? No.
Do they like fish, or is this more of like a that's what they have to eat every day?
Where's the closest Starbucks?
Does he look like a bitch?
Do they look like bitches?
Okay.
To you.
Do they like fish? That's a good one.
I don't think they got much choice.
It can't be just a flat. Do they look like? It's subjective. It's do they look like?
Do they
a
know what
bitch
pirates
to
are?
You?
Are there any like non-normal like things to like look out for when interacting? Like is there very like with us we say hello, we wave our hands, we shake. Is there any like
weird cultural things?
Yeah, weird cultural things.
Identifiers.
Yeah, weird cultural
Signifiers.
identifiers.
Yes. So there is there's a major religion which most of the planet subscribes to, and most of the planet practices regularly. It's a monotheistic worship of a god named Siso.
Mm-hmm.
Priests of the religion are called curators.
Okay.
And so the power. Well, yeah. So the main symbol of their order is the symbol.
I like it.
It looks like a crosshairs for a gun.
It's a cross with a pizza sauce.
The Church of the Archives.
Pizza God.
Okay.
Well, can I?
And in the big thing about the religion of the Church of the Archive is they believe in sort of an Armageddon brought on by the dragons.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have a question, but I want to field it by these guys before asking it formally.
Proceed.
Should we use one of our 3 questions to ask, like, what is their interaction with people from outside planets? Like, how often do they actually come in contact with?
Wouldn't ever come in contact because they're just here to pick up fish from the Genjo guy and then leave.
Well,
that's the only thing that people. Come here.
Because I was just wondering because obviously if they don't come in contact with people too often, they're gonna show up and then it's gonna be like whatever. But if they do get a lot of people, then it's not gonna be weird that we show up. We're not gonna have to pretend to be like sent from Siso God.
We should
be like,
so okay.
Like Siso brought you from the heavens.
I think you are
Yeah,
onto a good question, and that question should be: what is the native sentiment towards outsiders?
Yeah.
Can we walk
that's a
freely
good
among them?
because that'll help us when we approach them. Because we'll need to figure out.
That's our second question.
How to find Genjo.
Excuse me,
whether we
my
pretend to be
second
native.
question.
Yeah, like how should we approach that situation?
Do they got?
We obviously look like foreigners.
Do they got? Where can I get
Like,
some?
how
Where can
is
I
that
just
going
get
to
that
affect
pie,
us?
man? Can we walk freely among them? What are their sentiments to outsiders?
What is their sentiments to outsiders?
There you go. That's
They have mixed sentiments to outsiders. There was a monarchy, or no, okay. So there was a king. He disappeared. Pretty recent, like a year ago, he disappeared, and so the power vacuum was seized by Dawn Enterprises. So, pretty much, natives are some of them are like, we really like the old king. Dang you, outsiders! You killed our king or disappeared him or whatever. And then you have some people who are just like, whatever, I didn't even meet the king. King was like half a world away from me most of my life. Who fucking cares? The world's the same.
I didn't elect that.
Who was the king?
Is that your 3rd question? Yeah.
Is
it Sledge?
Would you guys be...
Was it Sledge?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
It was not Sledge.
God damn it.
Oh, 3rd question done.
Who's Sledge?
I
don't know.
I don't know. All right. So actual question.
So you get a 3rd actual question?
Well, I mean, he just said not sludge because that's not the.
Yeah,
whatever.
no, that was.
That's
We'll
the-
still
that's
have
not
that
the
as part of
answer.
the.
That's a silly question.
That was a silly question. Yeah, so go ahead and discuss
What
your third question.
Are there? I mean, we already like. Hasn't been that much fun. Like,
It's got to be something about like being able to get around, maybe.
Ask where the natives hide.
Where they hide.
Yeah,
on
where are
ships,
they?
it's all ships.
There's
It's
a
a
big
water
travel
world.
all
There's
over the world.
there's literally like nowhere to hide.
Oh, is there any
Yeah, it's gonna be
dangerous
on one of the ships?
wildlife?
That's pretty. Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's mostly water.
Also,
so
the
that's a good
political
question.
setup of the country of the planet would be good to know. Like
Well,
if we expect everyone to be hostile, or if it's just like
well, they had their king.
No,
thing.
they're pirates. There's hella pirates.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
So-
because their king is gone, so it's just a power vacuum and survival of the fittest on them.
So it's probably nomadic,
Well, different communities.
like hunter gatherer. I'm guessing.
So they just travel over and fish.
is there any?
No, I mean, if they have these
Like fuel
giant,
for these
Not that we
if
have
they
any
these
reference.
giant
Strip?
half-kilometer ships, they must have agriculture
I
on
feel
them.
like we've been here in a past life.
That would-
Maybe.
That would make sense. Right?
Yeah, is there anything dangerous to watch out for, environmental or animal? Like,
What are the natural
Um,
hazards of this
What
planet?
are the natural hazards?
Yes.
Giant storms and like
The metal
whale shark things, like
Whale
weird
shark
whale
things.
aliens.
Shark-
life
Weird
forms.
whale.
Sharknado.
They're
Whale
really
aliens.
big.
We have to watch out for
There aren't
Sharknado.
so they don't come to the surface that often, but when they do, sometimes they attack shipshires. There has been at least one recorded sinking of an entire 460-meter ship by one of these whale things.
good to know.
Huh. Okay.
Sharknado.
Sharknado.
Okay.
Okay,
So here's
alright.
my suggestion. We should first search Primarishire to see if he's on that ship, but we should also see if the contact logs of the ship and find out what ships the Primarishire has gone close to in the past year.
Yeah, what was his route?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably our best bet to narrow it down,
Okay.
I agree.
and that's probably where we should start. Then I assume there's probably some sort of native underground resistance group that he is a part of. We have to find them, infiltrate, and then extract.
Underground, you mean they're like underwater?
They could be.
There's no ground to be under.
There's no ground.
It's only one.
And there could be some seedy, underwater base that these guys are coming from with
Underwater
secret
base.
underwater
Like
base. Secret
Saturday
underwater
morning
base.
cartoons.
Probably
Are
with
there
some
mer
like
people? We didn't even ask if they're mer people.
probably has like some sort of badass resistance leader,
Yeah.
like Jamsky.
like
Oh,
like Jamsky.
Yeah.
no. Get the fuck.
Oh,
Dude.
Sterling doesn't know.
Oh, he was the leader of the Irrationals, the resistance in the world.
And then
of
every
the
one of our
Fieldman
campaigns
theory.
are all
They're all
in
connected.
the same.
Nope, this ain't Cosmere.
Wait, can spaceships go underwater?
No.
What?
Spaceships are designed
This-
to handle
This isn't.
little to no atmosphere,
Oh,
and
that's
underwater
correct.
is greater.
Vacuum is the
What if
opposite.
the base is a spaceship underwater and they get around by?
I mean, that's really cool, but unlikely. I mean, sure, you could probably design a spaceship
What
that
if
could
they
go
just
both
had a-
in
What
water
if those?
and out of
What if
water.
those
Had a
whales
submarine,
are
but,
spaceships?
It'd be really hard to get
No.
your ship from the water into space.
Yeah, it'd be really.
It'd be
I mean,
really heavy.
yeah.
You'd
Pretty
have
easy to get from the space to water, though. You just go.
You just gotta do the opposite.
Yeah.
What if this
Yeah.
is a handle?
No, you just open the spike drive while in the water.
Pandorum.
In the planet. Oh,
Yeah.
one thing just about spike drives, which is probably common knowledge by now, is you can't activate them next to gravity wells. So you have to go, which is why it takes you 2 days to get to a point where you can spike
Yeah.
jump
Yeah,
away.
you get outside of the solar system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
All right.
let's
So
go.
you guys done with your ship-based investigations?
Our powwows.
You guys ready to?
Okay. So
Ready
this
to get down
ship
and
is
dirty.
doing its shipment stuff. Is this
Yeah.
ship going to Primarishire itself? Or...
Actually, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
So
there we go.
Jiang
That's very convenient.
tells you that Primera Shire is the main base of Dawn Enterprises on Bulwark. So
Oh, perfect.
they'll be landing
It's
there,
a Dawn
dropping
Enterprise
you
ship,
off.
so
That's the gathering point. That's the gathering point for like all of
The Juggalos.
you mercenary bounty hunter folks.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah.
excellent. We should have the authority to ask for those access logs or contact logs or ship logs.
Ship logs. Okay, so it's another 20 hours. You guys are doing your things,
Doing our
your
prep work.
cabins.
Mhm.
Finally, though, the captain says,
You should be
"All right,
all
coming
healed up
into
without
view.
systems
Those of you who want to see the landing, feel free to
Oh,
come
I
up.
was already back.
Hey,
Oh,
and
okay.
this time, strap yourself into the freaking vacuum mask before you throw up. Why don't you?
That's
Thank
what
you.
I did throw up.
I didn't throw up.
reach. No, I threw up and I didn't reach the vacuum mask in time.
I think I threw him.
I'm just gonna
Oh.
pop that.
All
on.
right, strap yourself in if you can't handle it. The
Oh, yeah.
artificial gravity will be kicking off momentarily as we enter the hole of the planet. So on the display, you can see like a tiny little speck. Then it gets bigger as you get closer. Eventually, you see like the planet sort of appear as like a blue marble, grows bigger and bigger. So blue. You see a little glint off in the distance, and you can sort of see like a torus-shaped space station, but the ship you're on just completely bypasses it. You guys enter the gravity, and you start feeling gross. Some of you, I'm sure, throw up
No.
again,
No, I'm
but
good.
this
I'm doing
time
great.
you're masked up, so you don't have to worry about it. Takes a couple hours to land, and then as you're coming into the surface, first you hit like there are a lot of clouds on this planet, so it's looked like a blue marble from a distance, but as you got closer, there's just like all these like white patches everywhere, and you hit the clouds and you go through, and it's raining, and the rain's just pouring down, and the skies are gray. And you can sort of make out down below. There's this dull gray blob on the surface of the water, and the waves are really high, but they just look tiny from here. The ship approaches, and you can see that Primera Shire seems to be composed of 3 ships, sort of somehow attached together. So it's 3 of these really big ships, judging by the readouts that you had earlier on like what these things should look like. So you come down to the one on the leftmost ship. There seems to be like a landing field, a spaceport set up. So the ship comes down and it lands, and then you feel the landing, and the captain says, "All right, we're there. There you guys go. Have a nice day. Thanks for traveling with us. Red envelope. We ship all the goods. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do. Got to unload all this cargo."
Well, thanks for the ride.
Yep.
Excellent. So
Have fun. Thanks, folks, says Jiang.
So we step out of the ship
Yeah.
with all our gear in tow.
Yep. Go down this gangplank.
Mm.
As you are...
Is there someone there to greet us?
Yes,
Oh,
there
good.
is. Yeah, so at the bottom, you see a woman in
That's the most
these like slick sort of like the rain's coming down, and you can see it just like rolling off of whatever like clothing she's wearing. She's wearing sort of like a habit, like sort of religious. She has this symbol is like an iron thing on a chain around her neck.
That must be heavy.
So you, yeah. So,
Heavy is the burden.
The burden of the curator.
yeah. So as you walk down, she sort of shouts because it's really loud here. The rain's coming down, and you can see other ships are like leaving and landing at the same time. It's pretty busy. You saw the fleet was pretty much all headed down some of them were headed down to the planet. Some of them were just taking up position. Some of them were landing at the space station. So you hear it's a woman, and she shouts out to you, "Greetings, guests of Dawn. My name is Custodian Victoria Barker. The Church of the Archive has been asked by the Dawn to introduce newcomers to Primary Shire and point out where accommodations may be found." And she gestures for you to follow her. Follow me. I
lead the way.
I can answer any questions. I'm sure you have many. Welcome to our humble planet.
Is there any sort of equivalent to the Masters of the Docks in this?
Yes, that would be. She gives you a name, and yes, that would be Master Aaron Henderson. You can find him at the. I'll show you there.
What kind of food you got on the ship?
Fish.
And more fish?
Yes.
But it's real.
It might not be up to your standards, coming from the stars as you are, but we have fish, we have several types of grains that go together into our planet's culinary arts that I've heard is quite tasty.
You've heard is quite tasty?
I've been eating it all my life. It tastes much the same to me.
Okay.
You seem very...
every newcomer I introduce tells me that it is wonderful, which I'm glad.
Yeah, you do not want to taste simulated fish.
Very,
let me tell you.
Accustomed to interacting with people from a different planet.
Yes. I have some experience.
Hey, you're not
even
a total
more so
savage.
than the average custodian. I was actually the first to meet the original newcomers from the stars.
Oh, well, I
For
hope...
religious nutbag. You're pretty alright.
I wonder who those originals were.
I'm glad you could have us.
Yes. So
yeah.
Right this way.
Ooh, indeed.
You'll just follow me. So she brings you to Aaron Henderson, the.
We can go after
Vampire Diaries
that
spinoff.
after we drop off all our stuff.
Oh, right, of course.
I mean, I have this big box here.
Oh
as well
yes,
as all my other things.
Your gravity, temperature controlled mystery box.
Also, the guns and everything.
Okay.
Yes, we're all carrying our guns.
Yeah.
And everything.
All right.
Yep.
So if you'll
and our combat gear.
follow me,
I don't go anywhere without it.
Your Space Marine outfit.
So Dawn Enterprises has arranged for. So she leads you off. You're on a ship. Everything's like this weird, like dull metal. You don't have this sort of metal before on Hub, because the technology level is much more advanced there than it appears to be here. It looks sort of like it's been cobbled together. The surface is like mostly even, but it looks like maybe layers have been replaced.
That's
and
reassuring.
all the metals like got all these rust spots and stuff. Buildings have these like spiky things sticking up off the top of them, and she leads you.
Off the pterodactyls.
She actually leads you off of like the landing area, and then there's a large like double doors that has a pair of guards who appear to be like armed in like chainmail, over the which they have like ceramic plate armor, the type that you might actually see back on Hub, like sort of like sewn into, but they've got like laser pistols on their belt, but also swords. And they open the double doors as you guys approach.
You know, that makes sense. In these tight corridors, it can be hard to get a shot off, and so then you might be left to.
I think it'd be harder to swing your sword.
Also,
than it would be to...
they're trained. They've lived with the sword, so
they die by the sword.
As you enter the innards of the Shipshire, you can see that it's very like dimly lit. There's like mostly you see torches, and then sort of here and there electric wiring has been like passed through, and you can see lights are on. You see like alcoves where it looks like a long time ago, like the sort of lighting you might have on Hub would be, but they're like the alcoves are empty, like they were stripped away a long time ago. Everything sort of looks old and feels like things have been replaced multiple times. You see people, most of the people are dressed in sort of the same sort of gray, sleek material that shed water so well that the custodian was wearing. And they hurry here and there. They seem pretty busy. The atmosphere, it's not, even though it's dark, people don't seem like completely worried or glum about how dark it is inside the building.
They've never known anything else.
Perhaps we should get some overcoats in the material.
Yeah, are there any around that we can grab?
Yes, the sealfish is very, very good at its skin repels the water very naturally. Yes, if you just go to the tanner, you can have a garment made out for you.
Do we need to bring them an animal, or
Made for us?
do they have?
No. They've got the sealfish hunters past. It's a marketplace, so they buy the sealfish skins from the sealfish hunters, and then the meat is sold to.
What's the average cost of one of these sealfish
Suits?
Top coats? We don't need a suit. We just need a top coat.
How much would it cost for
I want a
me to put lights
blazer.
into it?
Yeah.
She quotes you something, and then she starts to quote you something, and then like stops, and then does some calculations in her head, and she's like, "It would be 2 gold. You'll have to go to
That's like that.
Dude,
It'll be almost as
You'd
useful.
have to go to the
this
the
app?
exchange first, though. Most places on Bulwark don't accept gold yet. We're working on that, but the technology just isn't there.
Do the sealfish fight back?
Oh yes, they've got great pointy teeth.
Huh.
Yes,
Interesting.
we hunt them in the longboats.
Hold on.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking we should get a set of these things.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Let's drop off our stuff, head to the market, get ourselves some sealfish, top coats, trench coats,
And tacos.
Fish
umbrellas.
tacos.
We can grab a quick bite, and then we should head to
Yes.
Aaron Henderson, master of the docks, to see about the ship logs, to see if
Yes.
Genjo is perhaps hiding on this ship or another ship.
They got that Baja Blast.
Baja Fresh.
All right, so she leads you to basically what appears to be
Seal
like
Wrap
an
Supreme.
inn set aside for bounty hunters and
Wet seal.
mercenaries and folk who move about and things, and then quotes you the staying price. It's pretty cheap, like it's the equivalent of living poor on Hub. Gets
Okay.
you pretty much the best accommodation that you can get here, which is it's not great, but that's what's to offer, and it includes like standard meals and stuff.
Okay, cool.
So if you guys want to grab a bite to eat, there's a lovely fish stew.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
Ooh,
do
it smells
that.
great.
Okay.
I
We
grabbed
need
that.
some
Yeah,
energy
seal,
after that
seal
trip.
wrap supreme.
There's no rush. Genjo's probably not going to be going anywhere off planet.
He's been gone a couple months.
He has been gone a couple months, but from the looks of it, he doesn't have much anywhere to go unless he owns a boat, and then it'd be really hard to track him down.
It might
And
be
you can't
good
just
to
strike a deal to
hire-
hop boats like discreetly. It'll be really obvious.
It might be good to hire someone native to like help us go about.
Let's hold off on that for now. Let's see what we can do with the ship logs.
Can you drive a boat?
So
it's
as
basically-
you guys are about to as she shows you to the food hall, she says, yes, and if you need it, I'm going to go about my duties until just give me a ring when you need help. Yes. Oh, here's my pad information, and she opens her sealfish robe and pulls out her pad, and she has a pad, and she's like,
Oh, cool.
It's like, yeah, standard issue, new technology is very handy around here. We have a comms tower newly installed on the top of Primary Shire. However, there's not comms tower aren't yet spread across Bulwark. In fact, it'd be very hard to do so by the nature of the planet. So they're not much use outside of the Shipshire.
Right. What was her name again?
Her name is Victoria
Barker.
Normal name.
Normal?
Yeah.
So all the names we've encountered aren't normal?
Yes.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. Aaron Henderson is pretty normal too.
Yeah,
that
these
sounds
are all
a more,
plain Jane,
Yeah.
Modern World. It's one big office.
Yeah. Specifically, they're all very English.
Oh, yes, because it's cloudy and raining all the time.
The planets.
Right.
Who was living on the planet before the Scream?
Ooh,
That sort of thing.
British.
Yes. Sort of thing tells you a lot about the.
And then the British government or the British Navy versus the pirates.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
Damn shame.
This will be the day we almost caught Genjo.
Wow.
Oh man.